So we're with famous AI podcaster Dwarkesh Patel.
Mark, welcome to the podcast.
And member of technical staff at Anthropic, Sholto Douglas.
Congratulations.
This is the CHESTMAXXER challenge. Let's go ahead and see who wins this. I'm Jayden Clark, and I'm here in San Francisco taking some of the brightest minds in technology through different workouts. We're going to be talking all things artificial intelligence and the AI bubble. Do we still think that we're in a bubble?
I didn't hear anything you said.
Today we're going to be going through a push workout, right? So we can talk about some AI stuff, maybe some AI bubble stuff, but while we're doing chest, shoulders. Standing shoulder press. Shoulders pinned back, and you just want to press all the way over your head. Head comes through.
Yeah.
If we're thinking of like this current AI moment as being maybe a bubble, what happens if it pops?
Well, I basically don't think it's a bubble, right?
Do you think there's any concern of like, say for instance, like a data center overbuild?
Everything's a possibility.
Yeah.
I actually think we're like currently almost still in an underbuild based on the projected numbers that I see.
I mean, the reason there could be a fiber optic like overbuild is the cost of building these data centers is the GPUs.
Yeah.
GPUs depreciate over 5 years.
Yep.
So if you're like, we're going to have AGI and it's going to be the most incredible, important thing in the history of the world, but it's going to happen in 2040, most of the cost for the current build out will not be relevant. Like even if you're right about AGI, you might, if you're not like right within the next 5 years about revenue, you could lose a lot of money.
Let's lift some weights. All right.
Nice.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. Man, strong. Really good. That's an awkward spotting angle.
You should just embrace him, dude.
Yeah,
Just like,
I know. Yeah, here we go, baby. Be careful. So I guess the question is then, if there is perhaps an underbuild, what can we expect out of the capabilities of these models once a bunch of this compute comes online?
Couple things. One is that if you talk to a lot of software engineers today, the way they do their coding is they're asking models to do things at these like 3 to 5 minute like intervals of time, and they do that in a loop. And often it's like, yes, the models lack taste, and they still feel a lot like an overeager junior intern and all this kind of stuff.
It's like a technology slur is taste. I can't describe anything as enjoyable. I gotta describe it as tasteful.
But at the same time, like people are just asking their computer to do things.
Yeah.
And I think that will happen to basically everyone that uses a computer for work. And at the same time, I expect us to start getting these like virtual interns, really. Like they sort of like inhabit your Slack channels alongside you.
Yeah, totally. How are you feeling about these products in your workflow and how their capabilities are increasing? Podcaster to podcaster. You know?
Yeah, this is what the real economy is like, Sholto. It's not your bullshit AI research. The real economy is podcasting and making clips and making transcripts.
I thought I was relatively well socialized. Apparently not. Our jobs are safe. Our jobs are safe. Actually, on that, I'm curious. How are we thinking about job displacement now, just generally?
My take is that the jobs are way harder to automate than I think a lot of people in the AI industry assume.
Yeah.
Programmers will think it's just like writing a function and like the model can write the function, then you automate the job. It's like, actually the job is much broader than that. I think people have this idea of like, it seems to be doing a thing the human can do, therefore 3 years to like taking over a job. And it's like, people are doing a lot of stuff at work.
You might be a little bit more bullish on this.
Yeah, I'm much more bullish on this. And
Oh,
I think,
classic. Oh, the AI research a bit more.
I think it's definitely true that there's so much richness and complexity in jobs that it's hard to automate. But at the same time, huge fractions of my time, they're not particularly rich. Like I can see how I would train an AI model to be truly world-class at those things.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like huge roadmap of things we need to do. There's like there's scientific challenges like continual learning, but all these things feel really tractable to me. So nothing that seems really like intrinsically unsolvable and really hard. Even if you did have models that were capable of doing a lot of computer-facing work today, it's not like the world is anywhere near perfect. It will just be the fact that humans can be 10 times more ambitious than they were before because they'll now have a team that reports to them. At the same time, I get worried. Maybe the next 5 years feels pretty familiar because it's really hard to like shift and change companies that much. But then I think that there will be these like non-linearities basically as new companies come through that are actually built around AI models as opposed to built around humans.
Oh, that's a nice way to wrap up that bit of segment, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So it's really, really important when you are at a public commercial gym that you go ahead and re-rack your weights. You'll be the first to be automated by AGI if you don't re-rack your weights. So please go ahead and re-rack your weights if you don't want to be a part of the permanent underclass. Dwarkesh won that round. He won that round by a large margin. You might have noticed that Sholto was actually using some of his legs, right? So we actually managed to turn it into a leg movement. Happens to the best of us. I have a feeling Sholto will be able to bring this back around on the incline dumbbell press. So we'll go ahead and get into this now.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Good. Yeah. Great. Perfect.
Chuck him on the ground. Going straight to 70s as well?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, nice. Up.
I'm about to get mogged again. I think you may have done one more than me.
Who's counting?
Now is a good time to actually get into something a little bit more contentious. AI safety. Acceleration to the max versus no, we should pause AI. Where are you guys on that scale?
There are the sci-fi futures that I really want us to get to, but I think we should be like, if we're going to be super ambitious about what we're building, then we should be as considered as thoughtful as like our ambitions demand.
It's sort of hilarious that like the AI researcher is like, oh look, think about like, we gotta think about potentially slowing down and make sure that things go well. And the guy who's like running a professional podcast, I am one by the way, are like, no, you gotta do the thing that accelerates the most, and we're like here just like running podcasts.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the bad things that could even happen?
I think sometimes people underestimate both AGI and its safety implications because they're anchoring too much to LLMs as they exist today. Whereas my take is we're actually quite far from AGI. Of course. You won't love this, but I think people are not thinking about like really a human on a server. If you look at like why does the world work the way it does, it's because humans are intelligent.
Humans are at the top, yeah.
And not even that they're on top, but there's some interaction of culture and civilization that has spawned what exists here. There's nothing necessarily insidious about it, but that explains why things are the way they are. If you've added orders of magnitude more intelligences, which will have the ability to act over much longer horizons, the same way humans can pursue their own objectives and act over long horizons, it's like really unpredictable what an intelligence might do. But then it's just like, okay, do you want to live in the world where humans are still better off than they are today, but we somehow miss the opportunity to, put humans in a position where they could have greater influence over the future?
You end up with a human civilization that, as you said, is like fantastic. I think you put it really well. They're just like fantastically wealthy, but has basically no influence over the future.
Sure.
Like you don't have any influence over the universe.
Yep.
In that world. That's like the quite far away future, right, in some respects. But also there's some great articulations of what this looks like in the near term. Like there's this essay, What Failure Looks Like. Basically like talks about a relatively near-term civilization where actually everything is run by AI. It's like all companies are basically operated like end-to-end by AI. It's like it's a bit of a weird world because you need to make sure that humanity's values are still embodied in what is actually running civilization. That's quite commonly called a loss of control. And yeah, it's something that like everyone is super worried about.
Do you think there is any credibility at all to the idea that if we consider us as a species and AI as a separate species, there's going to be any sort of competition for energy?
You have to sort of like construct reasons for why civilization would want to keep us around. And there's like a bunch of possible articulations of that. One of them is that actually the way we've created them means they are so aligned with our values and like what we want. Like it's a very cooperative equilibrium. That seems plausible, but also like tough. Like it will require a bunch of work. There's all kinds of scenarios you can imagine. One of them is like we're one of the last like sources of entropy in the universe. And it's actually kind of like interesting to have us around, right? Like,
That's a nice one. I've not heard that one much before. I usually hear of like
Skynet.
The AI designed bioweapon that escapes from containment, right? These are like all of the
These are the near-term ones.
doomsday, near term.
I mean, the bioweapons one is serious. What if you just had human-level intelligences that had access to labs? There's no reason that some number of years they wouldn't be able to like produce a novel bioweapon. Our world is currently very vulnerable to that.
You just have this alternative civilization that's just rapidly becoming more powerful. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be insidious, but if you just start with that premise, like, all right, that's not just another technology.
Yeah, on that note, want to do last set?
Let's do it.
Okay, on a lighter note.
But AI can't steal these gains. Yes, let's party.
Nice. Very, very good. Yeah, that's failure. That's failure. Pretty good.
How good?
I'd say it's actually pretty even between the both of them. They got through their sets quite nicely, and so we're going to go ahead and do some lateral raises and some pull-ups while we talk about money.
Can we talk about how Jayden is not doing any of the exercises? He's like,
Guys, come on, work harder.
Yeah,
How's that?
pretty good actually. You want to think about your elbows being pointed to the sky. It's how you're going to get the boulder shoulders.
Like you.
Of course, when it comes to technology and AI, some of these salaries are kind of eye-watering. Are they even real?
yeah, show us a pay stub, Sholto.
Is this a thing that is actually happening, or is it just hype and headlines?
The meta stuff is real. In many respects, rational as well. One, everyone views this as like potentially the most valuable industry ever. It's also the
Nice, that's
new wave of competitiveness between all the major like Mag 7 companies.
Yeah.
And because the impact that an individual can have is so large. When Meta is getting a really good research scientist, what they're getting is, let's say, the easiest calculus is on like a performance engineer. Okay, yeah.
He needs to go lighter.
Nope, the same way.
If you're going to spend many tens or hundreds of billions on compute, if someone can save you even like 0.5% or 1% on that, then like there's a very easy economic calculus there.
Yes.
We think it's really important. Whenever we work out, we always superset stuff.
I know, I know.
And to Jayden's eternal frustration, he's always like, this is not a pure workout. You're just throwing random bullshit in there. And we're like, you know what? But we like it.
The main thing when it comes to working out is that you have fun. And I am no fun when it comes to working out.
Results of no fun, results of fun.
Yeah, the money's like really used as I assume a scorecard of like, I am at your contributing value, which is totally reasonable. I think as a result, it seems like other factors end up being also quite privileged because there's other ways to feel like you're contributing value, especially if you believe the safety discussions and things.
Yeah, like I think what people want to feel is, am I working on AGI and like, curving the future in the way that I think is meaningful, basically.
Right. So you do properly believe that most of these researchers are actual missionaries, even though they're being paid, such squillions of dollars.
No. Like pretty much everyone is a missionary.
Yeah.
And they're all doing it for very good reasons. Because AI progress is going to be so fast in what I bet the world will be like, I actually think it'll attract even like a more missionary thing, because it would just be super tangible how this is impacting the world. And I personally like working with people that are really focused on the mission. It's one of the things that drew me to Anthropic, because I really like how much everyone cares. And as the stakes get higher, I think a differentiating factor will be how much you care.
Cool, so I think we're going pretty well here. Again, I think it's fairly even. Very, very solid pull-ups. Dwarkesh, I see why he wanted to do pull-ups. Right, we're being a little bit functional. I actually want to continue being functional. In fact, probably one of the most functional exercises we could possibly think of, and that is push-ups. And while we do this, we're going to be talking about the AI bubble.
Alleged bubble, thank you.
We started off with the bubble, and so we want to wrap.
Entirely rational economic investment.
This is it. This is the toughest one.
CHESTMAXXER.
This is Swole as a Service onboarding. This is the CHESTMAXXER challenge, going to be making them do max push-ups in 60 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I know we said that we're not necessarily in a bubble, but I'm going to go ahead and list a few valuations. Now, we got OpenAI. They're doing a $6.6 billion share sale at a $500 billion valuation. There's even talks for them to go public at a $1 trillion valuation. Anthropic, they've done $13 billion Series F at $183 billion valuation. You have XAI, right? They did a $10 billion round at a $200 billion valuation. You also have Thinking Machines. They did $2 billion at $12 billion. Safe Super Intelligence. They did $2 billion at $32 billion. You have Reflection AI, the new kid off the block. They did $2 billion at $8 billion. Right? Are we sure that we are not in a bubble? Those are some crazy, crazy valuations. I really, really like to know. All right, that's time. That's time. So guys, do we still think that we're in a bubble? Are these valuations rational?
Valuation's extremely rational. Underpriced.
I didn't hear anything you said.
The fact that the companies need to make revenue is indication of the capital misallocation.
Yeah, that's going to sound great to the people who are concerned about a bubble. The fact that revenue has to be earned is an indication of inefficiency.
The fact that some of these companies have no product that we don't even know about.
So he likes that.
The two biggest ones have very good revenue pathways.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if I agree with that, because it seems like revenue is a good indication of
Very
where
good
value
proxy
is.
signal.
Yeah, like Claude Code, you wouldn't have known that this is the thing to focus on necessarily.
Yeah.
There's something weird about having a conversation with you on the floor. Yeah. This feels like a pillow talk or something.
So who won?
Fuck.
So the official results are in. The winner of the first Swole as a Service onboarding CHESTMAXXER challenge is Sholto Douglas with 39. He just edges out Dwarkesh Patel with 34. So congratulations, Sholto. You are now at the top of the CHESTMAXXER leaderboard. Unfortunately, Dwarkesh, you are dead last. Such is the nature of being the first two, don't get me wrong. But no, thanks for coming out, guys.
Both on the leaderboard of
Both
two.
on the leaderboard of two, yeah.
Good sample size.
These feel great.
Time to go back and train.